Hey everybody, meteorologist Mike Griffith here for East Coast Weather Authority. It's about 4:30 p.m. here on the 22nd, which is a Sunday, and I hope that everybody is staying dry because there's some showers and thunderstorms that are moving across Virginia and also portions of North Carolina. This big spin on the satellite system is a big upper level low, and we can see some pretty decent thunderstorms down there just getting ready to touch Orlando and Jacksonville down there in North Florida. That's a pretty big cluster. There was a severe thunderstorm warning watch out, I should say, rather earlier, and I'm not sure if that quite has expired yet. So the flow is going to be from the southeast. So places here in North Carolina, especially Wilmington, maybe Ocean Isle there, you're going to start getting some showers and storms moving on shore in a little bit here, probably more than likely for Monday. So we're going to have to keep an eye on the pattern here because lots of this tropical moisture is going to start streaming up, and it's going to be wet here for a good portion of the week, especially for the East Coast here. Again, you can see this big upper level energy just sitting here spinning across much of the East Coast. Let's take a look at the models here, and let's back this up into present time right here. Here's the low just kind of sitting here at the surface, and it just translates itself to more than one spot. So there's a big upper level pattern here. It's a dip in the jet stream, and it's going to be cooler than usual, but also wet. We can see on Monday, looks like much of South Carolina, North Carolina, especially North Carolina beaches, start getting wet there on Monday. And then as we go into the day on Monday and a Tuesday, more showers and thunderstorms scattered. Storms work their way up into northern Virginia. And then, again, widespread rain once again on Tuesday. Another good bet for a washout at the beaches here in North Carolina during the day on Tuesday. Upstate South Carolina, maybe Charleston down here in the Savannah and the southeast coastal areas. We got wet down here too, especially on Tuesday. And then as we advance it into Wednesday, some more heavy rain, unfortunately, in spots for eastern North Carolina, and it looks like that situation does not let up, and it's just constant tropical moisture streaming around this high that's off the screen over here, but the airflow is going to be like this from the south, so it's going to be pumping up a lot of moisture and humidity, but it's going to be rainy, so it's not going to be quite as hot. But it's going to be really sticky and humid out there, and it looks like into this weekend, just more showers and storms are going to be in the overall trend of everything. Let's take a look at the precipitation totals here for the upcoming week, and it's looking like some pretty impressive totals through next Sunday, a week from now, over the next 7 days, especially eastern North Carolina. The beaches here at Wilmington, just offshore, onshore, it's going to be a lot of heavy rain. Heavy rain for western North Carolina, including Lincoln, Hickory, anywhere I-40. And even in the Charlotte, they're not going to be dry as well. They're going to be wet. And we're also going to get wet down here in the low country in South Carolina and also the entire state of South Carolina, Georgia, all the way down into Miami. It's going to be a wet week ahead up into Philadelphia as well as portions of New England. So the rain is going to be, not everybody gets wet every single day, but I guarantee that somebody gets wet at least once or twice, maybe even 3 times during the whole course of the week. And that is what the pattern is showing us right now. Let's take a look at the temperatures into later this month. You can see this Monday pattern here. Much cooler temperatures across much of the Ohio Valley and the plains out here, all the way into the Dakotas and into the Canadian prairies. This cold air is going to work its way eastward. This is going to be Monday temperatures, so it's not going to be really too terribly hot out there. It's going to feel a little bit cooler with all the dampness, though. It might not feel great, but it's going to not be as like a 100-degree heat wave or anything like that. This cooler air pretty much lasts all the way into the end of the month. And look at the really chilly air here along the U.S. and Canadian border, and this starts to work its way down to the East Coast here, and this is going to feel like autumn. This is only highs in the 60s and 70s at the most out here in the Midwest, and it's going to work its way eastward through the end of this month, and it's going to really cool us off, and we're going to feel like fall here towards the end of this month, and that's crazy because we had a warm and hot May and early June, and maybe even a lot of June itself, but we're going to really cool off here. There's no pronounced heat waves. Look at this blast of chilly, maybe even cold air for this time of year. They could be waking up to highs or morning lows in the 40s up in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and also the Dakotas, and even in the Omaha. as that is a pretty decent front of much, much chillier air to start the month of August. And this is just going to work its way down into the east, and it's going to feel like maybe late September to start off the month of August, and not hot whatsoever. That's the trend right now for East Coast Weather Authority. I am meteorologist Mike Griffith. Have a good one, everybody.